Happy Monday and Happy New Year to all of you. It's been a very long time and I had this desire to be just very real and transparent and wanted to share a few things with all of you. So I've spent the last few months as a hermit, kind of doing a lot of, I have been doing a lot of processing and allowing myself to learn how to grieve the family members that we lost here in 2017. Like many others out there that have said it, 2017 was one hell of a year. And I'll just be blunt and frank and just say it. It was a shitty year for me, not professionally, personally. And we all know that if you suffer personally, professionally, that may also be affected, right? And so I found myself in some very low, depressed moments and times. And I was wondering and throwing my hands up in frustration and even anger, asking, why is all of this happening? And what else could possibly be next, right? And I know I'm not alone in that thinking, or at least was. And maybe someone's going through that now, right? And so I pulled myself away from the people and the things that I love doing. You know, I had to respond to my own question of why. I had to dig deep. I had to dig deeper into my reservoir of my essential self, and I had to trust and that I can choose what to do or say in these situations. I may not control the situation, just like we can't control a lot of things. Even us control freaks can't control a lot of things. However, we can control the outcome of how we respond to them. And so what can I do? Because life is going to happen. Life is going to continue to happen no matter how good of a person you are, no matter how deserving you are of the best and the greatest thing ever, and that or this, it doesn't matter. Life and shit happens to the best of the best out there with no reasoning whatsoever. Life isn't fair, okay? However, we do have life, and we get to do with it what we want to do, and we get to choose to make the best out of it. So I did a lot of reflecting of who and what was around me and my own happiness. And I choose to be in certain environments, from social settings to work environments, etc. The people that I surround myself with, the same as all of you. My support system is who I choose it to be. And I acknowledge that in some of these situations of 2017, those that I deeply depended on to be there for me, to help get me through, didn't. They let me down, and I allowed it to happen. And I allowed it to happen because I was not fully investing in myself in 2017. I do a lot of things to invest in myself. However, I wasn't fully investing in myself. I was investing in everyone around me and all of the things that I did around me as well, right? And so the environments, the people, however, none of that was being returned to me. I should say all, none. A lot of that wasn't being returned to me the way I needed it to be. So I decided that I am going to invest in myself more this year. And I started making a list of all of the things that make me happy. Traveling, live entertainment, comedy, cooking, smiling, laughing, listening to loud music, and dancing erratically. And I am a horrible dancer, just so you know. I do not dance well, but I love it because it brings me a lot of joy. It's a lot of fun, and it gets my heart rate going a little tiny bit. But I love coaching. I love speaking. I love working out. I love going to yoga. I love spending time with my girls. I love spending time with my neighbor kids, my family, my friends. You know, I love modeling. I love doing all of these things. And I stopped doing these things over the last couple months because I let life happen to me. That's what happened. And so then I decided, you know what? I need to add these things back to my calendar to allow for the daily practice of happiness, and more importantly, consistency. That's my word for the year. 2018 word of the year for me, power word, is consistency. Gonna happen, okay? Happiness is within me. Happiness is in all of you. Every single one of us. And I have to give myself permission to allow for its release. And it helps when I do the things that I love and absolutely none of what I do not love to do, okay? And that means surrounding myself with the right people that support me fully and doing the work that I love to do. I love selling real estate. I love training. I love coaching. And this year, I am going to make sure I am putting myself and my 2 girls on my team in all of those situations that create those opportunities for us, because we love selling real estate. That's what we love to do. You know, I had a lot of time, like I said, to process, to reflect, to acknowledge, and now I'm going to invest in order to transform in 2018. But I also did this. I asked myself, if there is one person out there that I had not met, would my life be different? And the answer is yes. And I challenge every one of you out there to also think of that one person at whatever time in your life it was that would have completely altered or changed your life and where you are today. So that person for me is Cindy. And her name is Cindy, and I won't say her last name. She may or may not see this, but I met Cindy when I was in my early teens. I think I was 12 going on 13, and she lived down the street from me. We lived in Concord, and I started babysitting. She asked me if I would babysit for her 3 kids, and they were small, very small, her 3 kids, and I said yes. And so I babysat. She worked full-time at a hospital, crazy hours. And I babysat, and there would be times where I was there late and weekends and everything else, you know. And I did this for many, many, many years. And so she ended up leaving her full-time job to become a real estate agent. She became a real estate agent, and so there would be many days when she would cart us around showing houses, and I would be there in the car with the kids, and we'd come into the house, or I would just be back at her house so she could do paperwork and make phone calls and lead gen and do all of these things. And so we were growing up in real estate with her, and I was part of that. And so she became my second family. Her and her husband and her kids and her friends and her family became my second family, because I babysat for many years, and I was celebrating their life events and their birthdays and their holidays with them. And look at me now. I'm in real estate because of Cindy. So Cindy had a niece, Jennifer. Jennifer called me one day and she said, would you consider working full-time in the accounting department at Mullinax, which is now AutoNation, and they were just changing over from AutoNation car dealership, and they were just bought out. And so I went on an interview, and I got a job offer, and I took the job, and I started working in the accounting department, where I then met my soon-to-be best friend's mother. She introduced me to her daughter, who worked at a hair salon. I did a modeling show for them, and we became best friends for many years. And then I also met several of my friends that I still have from the car industry because of working there. In addition to that, I also met my now deceased ex-husband. And I bring that up because I met him there. We got married and obviously had children. And after Katrina was born, my second daughter, who's 12 going on 13 this year, I decided to go into real estate. And I love the autonomy, the freedom, the flexibility, the control over owning your own real estate business that I watched Cindy have when she had her children. And so that's what I wanted to. And I wanted to be able to connect with people and have a different outcome for every single day, because it's ever changing in real estate. It's never the same thing, you know, the mundane thing. So I met Michael, had our second daughter, went into real estate. And now because of real estate, I have my closest best friends. I have every relationship I have, every friendship, every close best friendship that I have, my next door neighbor and her 3 kids that I treat as my own 3 kids. I have the best neighbor in the world. Every single person and relationship that I have today is because of real estate, And I'm bringing this up because had it not been for Cindy, I would not be where I am today because of her. My whole path would be completely different, right? And so Cindy has these 3 kids. And so those 3 kids, I've watched them grow, and now they have kids, and they have seen my kids grow. So I reached out to Marisa, the middle child, who's a photographer, and I asked her to take family photos of me and my 2 girls for the late fall, early winter that some of you may have seen posted on Facebook. And now I am going to her for something. And so this connection of this one person has made my life of, you know, these last 25 years, basically 24 years. And I'm saying this to you because I challenge you to all find and think about that. And when you think about that, And you think about that during some of these really low, depressed moments that you may have. You think about all of the good that you have, and all of the things that you have to be thankful for, because again, life happens and people come into your life. I'm grabbing this little dog that I'm watching. She's at my feet. Life happens. People come into your life, whether it's a season or a lesson. I know. I know 2017 was a complete and utter wreck personally for me. However, I know I'm on the right path for 2018. I have so much to be thankful for after thinking about what my life is and who it's full of, all because of that one person. I have so much to be thankful for. And despite all of the crap that I was dealt last year, and this is just a reminder that you all do too. All of you have so much to be thankful for. You know, I'm supposed to be here, and I'll create my happiness no matter what is thrown my way. No matter what, I'll still be able to continue with my happiness. I'm going to make that list, and I want you to make that list of all the things that make you happy. And I want you to add that to your calendar and practice it daily and be consistent about it, because it's so worth it and it's so rewarding. So anyway, babbled on. Everybody have a fabulous week. Everybody have an amazing, amazing new year. And hopefully I'll see you all soon.